which we then also realized, by the way, our whole production staff was like me and Joe were the only men other than Vic Mensa, like his one guy. And I think at that point, Complex was like, oh shit, we didn't know that this was going to come. Let's get security.
Right.
And the security guard they hired had to be a guy from the bodega. The dude showed up with a ketchup stain on the shirt. The security filmed more than the cameraman. Like, we're walking to the red carpet, the security's like, yo, look at us, we kicking it here. Yo, this shit's crazy. We had the BET Awards. The whole time we're looking like, now they've instructed the security like, yo, take care of Akademiks. Because it looks like this motherfucker might have so many enemies, we don't know who might jump out the blue, right? This dude, he's on a different type of time. He's like, just, yo, what up, we here. He's vlogging. Dude's like he's like one of these vloggers. Like, yo, we here. All right, we'll get these guys through here. I'll be back. Okay, cool. We're there. Now we're at the BT Awards. And now is when the Migos thing happened.
Right.
Which we're sitting there, and Joe is such an interesting person because we're doing a hip-hop show. And this is why, like, he got frustrated. But I got frustrated too. I just didn't show it. Remember, Joe did Love and Hip Hop. Drea comes, and Joe acted like it was Drake. It's like, yo, Drea, what's up, what's up? We're talking to her maybe about her diet and stretching regimen for like the next 10 minutes, bro. Like, all type of like shit that I'm like, I have no fucking questions for her. Like, I'm here for hip hop stuff. But he's talking to her about, oh my God, you're glowing. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing here, right? But cool, I let it happen, right? The Migos, no, first of all, Yachty walks past. Now, me and Yachty are cool. We played video games on Twitch, all that type of stuff. I see Yachty, I'm like, Yachty! Yachty looks at me, and he almost kind of looks down and was kind of shrugs it off. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, wait, don't tell me this is that Hollywood shit. We played games together before. Now you see me on the red carpet, you just whatever. But I didn't realize he was letting me know the energy ain't, oh, it's not with you, with y'all. You're up there with the show because we're on like this little platform. The Migos pull up. I'm like, oh, fuck, yes. You know how long we've been trying to get the Migos in the studio? We've been talking about them the whole time. We've been talking about QC, talking about Yachty. Great. They come up, and I'm like dapping them up. Yo, what's up with y'all? All set. Yo, take off. I'm dapping them up. I'm like, oh, man, this is great. They all look at Joe, and he reaches out for his hand, and they look at it like it. They all look at him like this. I think he daps himself up like, okay then. So none of them dap him up, and I'm like, okay. 2 minutes into the interview, P walks in. No, actually, before it started, the interview is kind of started. He walks on set and like grabs Joe by here and like giving him like an aggressive massage, like, remember that convo we had, right? And I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about? Now, that was actually, he was trying to remind him that, this sounds so random. The day before we had the award show, Joe went to like some fucking store in the mall to get socks. You know what I mean? And he goes to get socks, and in the socks aisle is the Migos people. So QC is in the socks aisle, and they're probably saying, no fucking way. The guy who, because Joe's rhetoric at the time, whenever he was talking about trash rappers, he would use it interchangeable with Yachty. When they were talking about, so they're looking like, in no way, Joe Budden, the guy who'd been talking trash about our artists, is right here. So I guess they had a conversation with him. I don't think it was too crazy, but it was just like, yo, like, we don't like it. What are you doing? And I think he was just saying, hey, listen, I don't know too many of these new rappers. I don't mean to use them as the de facto rapper for trash rapper. I just kind of switch them out. It's not malicious, right? They basically said, listen, well, we don't like it. Could you stop? And he's like, well, if that's the only issue, like, I'm still gonna have my opinion, but fine. I'm gonna make sure I cognizantly don't make it seem like Yachty's just a trash rapper when I'm just trying to use those terms and colloquials. So that's what P came on set to be like, yo, remember that conversation now? So already I'm like, Joe had lightly mentioned it. I'm like, what the fuck? Why was this happening? Cool. We're doing an interview now. Man, I got a million questions for them. Yo, come on, man. It's Bad and Bougie. Come on, it's
the biggest song at the time.
Come
and
on,
Takeoff's
man.
not on it.
Yeah, and again with Complex and New to Video, we don't have in-ears. If you've ever been on a red carpet, it's super loud. Everybody just has their own little booth, but everybody's shouting. So you need mics to pick up sound. But to hear what somebody's saying, especially if I'm here and the other person's about like 7 feet away, you're gonna need. So I asked him, I said, yo, Takeoff, how do you feel about you not being on the biggest song, Bad and Bougie? And the funny part about it, every time he would answer me, it looked like he was about to shout. Like he would be like, and then he would just whisper. So that's what I'm like, nigga, wait, what? So this was super organic. Anyway, that happens. Joe as well is like, I could tell he doesn't like the energy. So if you look how he's sitting the whole time, his back is facing me in the desk and he's facing them. And if you've ever been in any type of, tense situation, you never want to turn your back on somebody who you think might have some issues with you. So he's facing them the whole time like this. Now, after like 5 minutes, Joe is done with them because he kind of feel like they're playing the too cool for school. He's not feeling the energy. He don't really want to be there. And he says, yo, just wrap this up, right? Also, to give him some credit, there was a producer there who was giving the wrap-up sign, but I'm not even paying attention to her. Like, I'm getting my questions off. She's saying wrap it up. I'm focused on them. Joe, who's already like watching everything, sees the wrap-up sign, and he's just watching these niggas and looking at me like, bro, you gon'... Then he says, yo, bro, wrap this up. My wrap-up was asking an additional question, which was going to lead to the wrap-up. Joe couldn't even wait. He says, fuck this shit. Gets up, throws the mic, walks the fuck off.
Yeah, and then a fight almost breaks out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think his name is Rel Money. This motherfucker, the whole Migos entourage just formed like Voltron. There's a slow motion version of this shit where P looks through, like, he basically looks like he just snaps his head around like, what? Didn't we just talk to this motherfucker? Everybody else is like, and then they basically just start jumping out of the woodworks like wild hyenas. You get me? Now, the Migos stand up, Joe walks off. By the way, nobody touched Joe. But it was tense because they were approaching him. I thought one of the Migos was going to swing. Now, there's also a clip, and it looks like I'm a little bit nervous, right? And, I mean, yeah, because, like, I'm talking to the guys who I like the most, and they're about to beat my co-host's ass. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, no, can't we just finish this interview? And it was just too long already. But regardless, cooler heads prevailed. There was so many people saying different things about what happened. Like, I remember moving in the middle of Joe and the Migos because I knew they had no problem with me because all I did was show them love. And I was there like, yo, hey, don't do anything. And honestly, there was police there, so it wouldn't have gotten too far. But P made sure there was, no physicality, which was dope.